One to recommend if you don't like the people in your life is the new Netflix sci-fi movie, as Zach was just mentioning, Atlas. It is the new Netflix sci-fi movie about AI that looks to support AI because it feels like it was written by AI. It stars Jennifer Lopez as an analyst. Her husband was an accountant. Now she's an analyst here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's supposed to be the person who's going to protect the world, even though she may be the person who kind of started it. It has a pretty stacked cast. I don't know how she got Mark Strong. I don't know how she convinced Sterling K. Brown. But I do know how she convinced Simu Liu. He is technically the bad AI in this movie who goes rogue and becomes a literal AI terrorist. And it becomes this like trek across the stars in order to go find him. So what you end up really having is a movie where she's in this spacesuit, just chilling. And I hear the director talk about it and he goes, I just set up 5 cameras. I just let her look wherever she wanted to. And then we just put the little CGI AI thing that she talks to throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest filming for her. Or was it an easy watch for y'all?
Absolutely not. I was resisting the urge to turn it off at every new scene. Yet I powered through. Yeah, you mentioned that this film is sort of about AI and stuff. I don't know what it is with this like bent of Netflix films that are actually about loving and embracing AI, but maybe they're trying to prepare us. But it's just this movie never ends up feeling like an actual movie. I don't know what it quite is about the quality of it, but it always feels like when you're watching a movie about an actor and they cut to a clip of their new movie and you see some fake thing that's obviously like super CGI'd and just her whole like you mentioned it in your intro to this that although this is like a planet hopping or whatever movie, the majority of it is just different angles of J-Lo's face in this kind of like mech suit, right? Like she's almost into like something cross between the Edge of Tomorrow and Pacific Rim mech suits.
Edge of Tomorrow. There's a scene that ripped that movie off completely with the fall. No, yes. Horrendous.
And there's a lot of those moments that like rip something off, like the opening where they all are like together and assemble the group. Really reminded me of Aliens, and like the opening felt a lot like a Blade Runner at one point. It's really felt like it was fed into like as reductive and as lame it is to like describe a bad movie nowadays into it must have been written by AI. This one really feels like
it's written by AI.
Yeah, it's like
it's just like so. A lot of the movie ends up not just being these different angles of her face in the mech suit, but her talking with a voiceover of the most bland AI imaginable, just like learning to trust each other and stuff.
Did you know she has trust issues?
I watched This Is Me ... now, so I'm well aware of J-Lo's trust issues. I don't know, but this is like it's a complete misfire for me.
Yeah, it is an amalgamation of several movies. You brought up Aliens. They rip a Ripley line right at the end in the suit and everything. I don't think it's the worst that Netflix has produced, but it's the worst because it's so middle of the ground. You got people actually investing money in it with all these graphics and whatever else. It doesn't look like the worst thing shot, but there is not a creative inkling of anything in this movie. I'll end it with Simu Liu talking about how he had mentioned that he had to do the voice as a very soft-spoken thing because technically he was a house spot, something they have in this movie, house spots, and that because it was supposed to be very soft and spoken, once he becomes evil, he's saying evil lines, but it's still soft and spoken. And I'm like, buddy, you weren't programmed to kill. I think you could program the settings for your voice to be different too. What were y'all doing with this movie? Atlas, out on Netflix. Save your free subscription if you don't have it for June 7th when Hitman actually comes out.
There you go.
That's the better version.